back to Cougar Creations.
I'm Chloe.
And I'm Abby.
Now that the school year of Radio TV is winding down, we will be talking with our seniors
and seeing how Radio TV has impacted the years they have been a part of this program.
This episode is going to feature 3 of our seniors, Carter Wilson, Dakota Hamilton, and David Wasson.
We'll take a look at their time and some of their work in Radio TV.
All in this episode of Cougar Creations.
Our award-winning Radio TV program has produced many great students. Our senior class this year has many strong students, including David, Dakota, and Carter. So let's take a look back and see how they have changed during their time in our program.
Our Radio TV class has 4 levels of classes, starting off with learning the basics of a production all the way up to creating our Cougar Creations and sports shows. We first sat down and talked with Carter about his experience and his favorite moments of radio and TV.
I've always wanted to take radio TV since I was a freshman. I've always had an interest in recording videos and making my own scripts and editing my own videos. I used to do it when I was a kid. And when I heard there was a class, I was so stoked to take it, going from 8th grade to freshman year. And then that didn't work out, and then freshman to sophomore year didn't work out, and so I decided junior year that it was better late than never, and I'm very grateful that I took the class because I feel that I have I'm more in touch with technology and editing and stuff like that. Some of my favorite projects would include the documentary was super fun because that felt like that was the first time that I had complete creative control over what I was doing, and now moving into Cougar Creations. And then the second one would definitely be the black and white silent film. That was such a small project, but that was so fun to make and such a blast, I thought. Some takeaways would include, knowing screen presence, knowing how to really talk in front of a camera. I've always thought that I was pretty all right at that, but this class definitely helped improve that and sharpen that skill, as well as obviously editing. I always considered myself to be fairly known in the editing sphere, but using a new platform like Final Cut and stuff like that was very educational to me. And script writing, really just the foundations, that stuff, it sharpened all of that, and I'm very grateful for that. Some extra opportunities I've been able to receive by being in this program has been able to promote my shows, whether it's theater or my band performances and whatnot. I've always been able to promote those somewhat or make an episode about it because my group is awesome and we're able to, cater to each other's ideas, and it feels like we're all really happy in the end. And I think that just the teamwork alone has just been a very, very fun part of my day. I always look forward to this class, and yeah. This class has definitely shaped me when it comes to my work ethic. I always care about this class, so it's easy for me to want to work in this class, but especially with, Mr. Holtzclaw and Mr. Hudson, it's I come in and I want to make a good episode. I want to do a good interview. I want to make a good script. And I think that really, for it being a class purely about radio and TV, I think that it was really awesome, for them to really shape me in my work ethic, and I'm very grateful for that. My future plan once I graduate is I'm going to stick around Indianapolis and pursue my music career and just continue to perform, which I'm very excited to do. And I can thank GC enough for, shaping me to be a performer. One piece of advice that I would give to someone that wants to get into radio TV here is to take creative liberty. Obviously you have assignments and you have things you have to do, but what makes you stand out is how hard you work on one assignment and also the creative liberties you take and the artistic direction you have on one assignment. So, whether it could be something that you were like, that might be kind of cool if I add this little thing or this little filter on this, or if I added this little text thing here that you wouldn't think to normally. Just small things like that really make you stand out, I feel. And so I would just say, take more creative liberties and don't be afraid to use your artistic direction.
Dakota Hamilton is a 3-year member of our radio TV program. He has been a part of both our Cougar Creations as well as the sports program. We sat down and talked to him about his experience in the class and what he was able to learn during his time with this program.
What made me want to take this class in my sophomore year was I was going through classes. I didn't really entirely know what I was going to do. I had some extra space, and I saw radio, TV, sports, and I was like, the first thing I thought of was sports commentators like Kevin Harlan. That's a really big inspiration for me. So I really wanted to get in that sports level, and it took me a while because I just had some basic stuff to start out. But yeah, I always dreamed of going into sports. So individual projects, I'd probably say documentary. I mean, it's just a lot of editing, which is kind of what I'm strong at. But like collaborative stuff, I think Cougar Creations was really cool. I got to do that stuff in junior year, and I think favorite episode of that was we went to a bunch of small businesses around Greenfield and visited them and interviewed people. It was really fun going around. So yeah. Advice, takeaways. I think don't get out of your comfort zone is a really big thing for me. Like I was really thrown out there at the beginning and I didn't really know what to expect, but eventually I got very comfortable talking to people, and also have integrity in everything you do and just put in the effort. Effort is everything. So extra opportunities. Well, I've been blessed with the opportunity for the past 2 years to do radio for 89.7 WRGF, commentating football games, basketball games, a couple of baseball games. It was a really cool experience, and it's led me to kind of want to pursue that in the future. And then also recently got into 9-star filming baseball games. So, but yeah, that's about it. What's really helped me is I was very introverted my freshman year. Sophomore year, I was still kind of like that, but this class really kind of brought out a new version of me. Like I'm a lot more extroverted now, I think, and it's gotten me a lot better with people overall, like conversation, stuff like that, and just comfortable, in social situations. So that's the biggest thing. I will be attending Ball State University for sports reporting, and I'll also be pursuing music production. So, big piece of advice is this is not a blow-off class. Take it seriously, because if you don't put in the effort, you're going to be embarrassed. It's fun once you put in effort, basically.
David Wasson has been a part of our radio TV program for 3 years. He has also helped with football, basketball, and softball games for 9-star. He has also commentated for basketball games here at Greenfield. We then sat down and talked with him about his experience and time in our radio TV program.
Yeah, so I originally had a plan. I wanted to major in broadcasting, maybe get something in the sports broadcasting field. So I kind of had an idea, like this is what this class was going to be. I had some friends that took this class that spoke very highly of the teacher, so that really led me to want to take this class, and that's what ended up me having to take it freshman year. Probably honestly the documentary. I mean, it's just the development, seeing how well you've gotten over the years in skill. I mean, freshman year I remember my documentary was over Devin Booker, and I think it was just straight pictures, and now I just had one. I did one over in sports and like blood doping in sports and stuff like that, and that one was a lot better, and it looked like a lot more like well put together. So I definitely think the documentary, because I got to see my development and the consistency of taking this class over 3 of my 4 years of high school. Yeah, just don't cut anything short and don't slack off. I mean, Mr. Hudson, Mr. Holtzclaw, they expect your very best, and not to cut stuff short and to take shortcuts. So definitely just working hard, staying consistent, and just making sure you're getting your work done is probably like the main things that I took away from this class. So I mean, Mr. Holtzclaw had me do some 9-star games, so I got to record some basketball games, got to travel to Pendleton, some other places like that to do some basketball games. Did commentary with Dakota this year a lot for football games, a lot of basketball games. We've done some baseball games. So definitely just, the aspect of getting to do jobs outside of the class to, help with my personal skill and even help my teachers outside of that. I mean, it's definitely made me more responsible and more mature in a way. I know freshman year I wasn't the most mature, but I mean, the sternness that Mr. Holtzclaw and Mr. Hudson have really shaped me into a great person, because I didn't take a lot of stuff serious, and in their class I wanted to take stuff serious because I wanted to succeed and I wanted to be good. So definitely just, that maturity level has definitely increased throughout the years because of my great teachers. Yeah, so I'm going to Marion University to run cross country and track, major in nursing, and then minor in broadcasting. I would like to have, broadcasting as a thing to fall back on when I'm older, after, I'm not as fast in the ER when I'm working in my nursing position. So yeah, definitely, this class definitely helped to benefit into my future. Yeah, just be ready. I will say, I mean, Mr. Hudson, he's a very stern guy. He's gonna expect you to work. So is Mr. Holtzclaw. You just got to be prepared. I mean, you're not gonna succeed at first, but you just got to stay consistent. You got to keep working, because it'll all pay off in the end. Your first project might not be the prettiest thing, but when you get to senior year and you see how far you've come and that progress you made from freshman year, it's all a great feeling in the end, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Now that we've talked with the seniors, We're going to sit and talk with Mr. Holtzclaw to see his perspective on how the seniors have changed throughout the years.
So starting off, all of these seniors have kind of started off at their own pathway. David started off as a freshman, so I got to see him from the immature freshman that he was into the senior that he is now, coming back after his 1 year hiatus his junior year. Dakota, I had 3 years in a row from sophomore year through senior year, and then Carter joined us late as a junior, but still got to see his growth and development from junior to senior year, just that kind of work. So it was really cool to see how all three of them kind of started in different stages of their lives, with David being the youngest and then Carter being the oldest, kind of seeing how they were able to all three mature and then become very integral parts of our program throughout that time. So that was really cool to see, and really interesting to see how they all were able to become who they are today, starting off with each stage for their intro to radio and TV. So each one has changed in their own separate way. David, like I said, kind of came in a little bit more immature, but I could see from the start just how passionate he was about sports. I mean, starting off like the Devin Booker documentary, or then he did one about the Houston Texans. So I knew early on that he was going to be big with our sports campaign. I know his sophomore year, he got to do some more project-based work, doing like Foley work into like a black and white film and then like a music video. So it was cool to see how he was able to develop. And then this year, I mean, he and Dakota both taking the reins as some of our best analysts for the radio program. So it's been really cool to see just how he has gone from that and how he's been able to progress and become one of our top sports students. With Dakota, it was the same kind of thing. He was very creative from the start. I could see early on just how smart he was and how tech savvy he was. I like to reference his 15-shot narratives because of how good and well developed that was. So it was cool to see that, and now he was able to do Cougar Creations his junior year and jumping into sports his senior year. So he's had the full pathway of being able to do that, and knowing that he can do all assets and all facets of the radio and TV program, whether I ask him to be tech on stage or running sports, things like that. And then with Carter, very tech savvy, very creative from the start. His work early on with like the 15-shot narrative, knowing that he was very creative musically, was able to kind of instrument that with how to play a piano, was something like that. So it was cool to see that. Immediately, I didn't want to hinder him at all, so we started doing the same kind of thing that a lot of you guys did, where we pushed him to do more advanced work his first year in the program. With that, he obviously made the step up into Cougar Creations his senior year. And I mean, he's taken a full leadership role a lot of the ways with a lot of the programming that we do here. So it's been cool to see him take that leadership responsibility this year too. So they all three have made their impacts along the way. Like I said, with David and Dakota, especially on the sports side of things this year, they've really, if you were listening to WRGF, you're hearing their voices more often than not when we had basketball games, football games, even some baseball now. So their voices have been impactful and are very, if you're listening to us, you know what their voices sound like. With Carter, he's one of the faces of our program. He's out there every single week on Cougar Creations, more or less, doing that kind of stuff. So it's safe to say that all three of their legacies are going to be here for a while, and it's stuff that the younger generation that are in the program now, or the ones looking to join our program, are going to have to look up to and be able to see what they can become based off of what they've all done over these last 2-3 years. One takeaway is I hope they all just are able to continue a strong work ethic. You know, I think one thing we really model ourselves off of is being able to work hard and keep pushing yourselves each and every day. You come in with a good attitude, a good mindset, and you're able to do the work the right way each and every time. You don't try and find the shortcuts around things, you just get the work done. So no matter what they do, whether they continue on, I know David's going on to Marion to do his running and then become, I believe, a nurse or along the medical field in some way. So I hope he's able to continue working with that, with Carter, with his band and his musical work along the way. So I hope he continues to push himself and keep pushing forward to become the best they can be. And with Dakota, he's going to continue on doing radio and TV work. So I hope he's taken a lot from what we do here with our work ethic and just continues to use that to motivate himself to create the best work imaginable there. So I guess some advice I would say is just continue to be the best that you guys can be. They're all creative individuals in their own way, and I hope they continue to stay creative within their mindsets. So I hope that they don't change that way, I hope they are able to grow off of it, and I hope that they become the best versions of themselves.
Seeing all of us seniors ready to move on to the next stage of life can be bittersweet, but empowering to know the progress we've made from our first year to now. I, as well as the rest of the seniors, would like to personally thank Mr. Holtzclaw and Mr. Hudson for the opportunities they've given us.
Welcome back to Cougar Creations.
We hope you enjoyed hearing from these seniors and Mr. Holtzclaw.
We want to thank these seniors for their time in the program.
We wish you all the best heading forward.
Thank you for watching and have a Cougar-tastic day.
Want to learn more? Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and make sure to subscribe and smash that like button on YouTube for future videos.